Good morning. This is Dave Parrish with Knack Builders. Today I'm going to do a case study. I've done several videos showing functionality of Knack, and this will incorporate some of that, but I thought I'd take a look at one of the projects I've done and see how it helped solve an issue a client had using the Knack platform. This one turned out pretty nice. Client and myself very happy with it. Okay, here's what we're going to look at today. I have a client, and I'm going to keep their name hidden just for confidentiality, but regardless, it's a large national trade association. Over $50 million a year annual budget, 150,000 members in 177 different countries with 700 different chapters organized in different manners. But here's what the deal is. Every year, each chapter has to report on its activities. This happens once a year. Membership, financials, activities they've done, leadership of it, all kinds of different things they attend, membership rosters, anything you can think of. And they have to provide all this information to the home base in Washington. Now, how they have been doing it is a combination of spreadsheets, emails. Some people even try to get clever and submit information using Google Forms, stuff shared on, obviously, shared drives. You understand the gig here. A difficult process when you're trying to manage 700 different chapters, collecting all this information ultimately at one spot. The ability to understand how many have started doing them, how many are finished with them, that's very tough if you don't have a system, a database system like Knack. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to jump in to what we actually did for them using Knack. I'll look at it from two ways. One, I'm a chapter. Here's how I used to do it. Now I go to Knack on the cloud and submit my information. And then from the management side, hey, I help manage this trade association. I want to understand who's reporting and what information I can get out of this and how this streamlines the whole process. So we'll jump into that here in just a minute. Thank you. Okay, we're back. Here's what we're going to start off doing. We're going to take a look at being a chapter. I'm one of the 700 chapters out there. It's annual report time. I need to log into the system and do what I got to do to provide all this information back to our HQ. In this case, I'm logged in. I just went through the login. Everyone has a login, but I'm United Arab Emirates. That's where a chapter location is. And in this case, I already have a report I need to fill out for 2018, and the group administrator back at the headquarters can select automatically what year, so they don't accidentally do the wrong year. So each year they select what the display year is going to be, and in this case it's 2018, and it actually won't let them create a second one. We did some things in the app, so they can't duplicate this either. A little bit of quality control in there. So here I am. Here's my report. I need to go to this report. Well, before we do that, they can make a new report. They also have the ability to go and see in other groups and other chapters reports if they need to get ideas and see how. Here's a list. They can only view these, but they can see what other folks are doing to report, which can help them in their own. And there's also some templates, in this case a financial template they can download, and that's available right there for them, so they know how to present the information. And there's a whole help site we built out that shows them how to create things. There's nice little visuals and arrows, so there's an instructional side that we included in doing this also. But back to the main thing. I'm United Arab Emirates. It's 2018 time to do my annual report. All that's been done right now is created. This status, as they start filling out, will turn to in progress, and once they submit it as complete, it will then be marked as complete. In that case, that's how back home in DC they know that they can start looking at a report because it's been completed as opposed to in progress. So let's go to a report and see what we have. This is just information, so it's nothing. They can look at their whole report, all the answers they've given at once. In this case, there isn't a lot there. Or they have various sections. These are used with the menu functionality in Knack, and they can just go to each one of these. They can provide, their name and who's filling this out and their address, or they can, there's all kinds of just basic questions. The question aspect of this is nothing too complicated. It's just all how it's grouped and how the workflow is. Here's where they'd upload their financial template. They can also upload pictures, and this is a one-to-many where each application can have as many pictures and descriptions of activities they've done. In this case, they might be attending a meeting, some sort of outreach activity. They can submit the photo, and all these appear in the report. And then once they're done, this is a typical workflow we do, but there's multiple sections. Once they're done, they click on complete this report. It is them telling the trade association, I'm now done with it. So they have some responsibility in being done. And it won't let them submit this if there's a few items that are real important that they haven't submitted. So once they click submit, it's now, in this case, marked as complete. It is time-stamped because there's a deadline for these also. And once they submit it as complete, using page rules, their ability to go in and edit information once it's been complete is no longer there. They can view the whole report in a detail form, but they can't go back and use edit forms, which all these are. This is all hidden based on a page rule. So that's it. From the chapter side, this is how they do it. There's one place to do it. Multiple people can be associated with this, more than one member in the chapter. If someone's doing financials, someone's doing something else. But once they're done, it's done, and it's off to the headquarters to deal with, which I'll get into next. Thank you. Okay. We just went over how a chapter uses the Knack system to supply information for the annual report. Now let's do it from the other end. I'm back in D.C. in their main headquarters, and I'm in charge of one of these groups that has all kinds of chapters. And I used to be getting in my information on various spreadsheets and looking for them in some folder I had, and multiple people were having a hard time looking at things at the same time, all the stuff with the old way of doing things. So now I log in as a group person. It knows who I am based on my group. There's a number of different groups that just has those that they're dealing with. So they can log in and do obviously basic things. Manage users, manage the different chapters. I'll get into viewing stats. They can export information. Sometimes they have to compile information for other reports. They need certain types of answers all grouped together, and they can just now export it and ultimately copy and paste it into some other reporting that they do, usually to their board of directors. But here's what they see. Their homepage, in this case it's mostly 2018, but they can list, it shows all the different folks, all the different chapters, where they stand for what year, if they're completed or not, the time stamped of when it was completed, and then they can go in and view the information they need to get. Here's all the information from one from Ecuador. It shows all their answers, all kinds of events they've been to, using lists, more types of organizations they're associated with, and then there's various functions they've gone to with photos, all kinds of things that again were done before and in a very unorganized manner in the old system. They can also get back to their program, view various stats. So in this case, they can look and see volume of activity, and they can end up filtering these if they want. Here's one that created one in 2000 or just a couple months ago. Bangladesh did this. I'm not sure why they did it after the other folks, but that they can see a history, drive down to it, and see those who have not finished something, just see them right away. Typical stats, these can be a lot more robust. We'll be doing some more work on that. So that brings that together. Not too complicated, any of this stuff, but such a better way to do it than an old email spreadsheet system. There's a few things we're going to be doing to add on to this. Some of these actually get scored, and then there's rankings of how well the different chapters perform. We're now building into this, it isn't actually done yet, but the ability for this to automatically apply metrics, and some of these get complicated. There's weights, there's measurements, there's some things have different scores that are aggregated into a final score, and this will automatically do that. Another thing we're going to do is incorporate a single sign-on for this. They have another platform that they use that everyone is also, any chapter, any member has an email with that. So we're going to link that system. It's going to have to be a custom single sign-on to Knack, so their broad base of users don't have to manage multiple email logins. And then we're also going to do some other refinement. Right now this report's solely based on groups. There's 4 different groups, but across those groups are different regions. We're going to add a whole regional side of this too, that measures things and collects regional information. So that's about it. This worked out very well for the client. We really like the project here. It took several months to do, but it was a long process of a lot of different people involved and a lot of formal structure to the process, mostly driven by the client side, but a very good client to work for. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. If you want to like or subscribe to this, I'd encourage you to do so also. And I look forward to having the next video for you folks. Thank you.